Hi, welcome to this part of my guide and review featuring the Solo Adventuring Toolkit. If you haven't seen the other parts of my guide and review, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about plot revelation, maps, and secrets. So, as always, I am going to read some key paragraphs and I'm going to tell you my opinion. We start with plot revelation. This is one of the most difficult elements of traditional gameplay to simulate in a solo game. It's right there in the wording, revelation of a plot. It is extremely difficult to handle something that you already know about. The mundane but easy approach is to simply read through the published adventure and understand all of it in advance. The act of discovery is then an abstract concept in which you pretend not to know things in advance. Now, this is my least preferred method. It's just so staged. You feel like as if you are not running an adventure. You feel as if you are perhaps reading a book that you have already read. Or it feels as if you are trying to represent a story in a theatrical play. It's as if you have already played that situation. There are no surprises. So yes, that's in my opinion, a disappointing way of handling things. However, this is the Solo Adventuring Toolkit, so you have several tools at your disposal. First, let's talk a bit more about this plot revelation and dynamic adventuring. The concept of dynamic adventuring, discussed earlier in the Solo Adventuring Toolkit, is a natural way to address this problem. Dynamic adventuring really is the only way to have an unfolding story, a complete, surprising story in a solo context, because by definition, it's being created as it needs to be. The situation is generated as you are handling each encounter separately. There are no secrets to keep from yourself because the secrets are generated in real time. So you can use the tools and tables in the Solo Adventuring Toolkit to generate these secrets, these adventures, these plot lines, etc. in real time. Now, I recommend that you watch my tutorial of running a pre-generated module using the Solo Adventuring Toolkit. In that tutorial, I am running this group of adventurers of the quick and classic role-playing game without me being aware of what happens in advance in that first adventure. So I am reading things paragraph by paragraph as recommended in the Solo Adventuring Toolkit, and there is a part in that guide and review where the characters enter this area. It is still ongoing, but I entered this fluorescent cavern of sorts, and there was a key at the bottom of a pond, and I spoiled the secret. That is, by reading ahead little by little, even following that method, the secret of the key was spoiled. You were supposed to be looking for that key at the bottom of the pond, but there was no problem because I used the Ashtrays table included in the Solo Adventuring Toolkit to add further surprises and challenges to that instance. So if you're running a pre-generated module, if you spoil things for yourself accidentally, perhaps you saw the map and you located this secret door, you can see in the map that there is actually a secret door connecting two rooms. You could search for the secret door, making your check, but also roll on the Ashtrays table to add some nuances so that it doesn't feel too boring, too predictable. But if you are running a pre-generated module that you have already read, or perhaps that you have already used with your group, then I would recommend that you slice it up completely, that you cut up the rooms, the features of the rooms, the enemies, taking those elements, creating separate categorized tables to generate things randomly, using some of the elements, the plot lines, the hooks, the intricacies of a particular pre-generated module. In the future, when I finish this tutorial of the pre-generated module, I plan to create another series of videos explaining this method of cutting up and slicing up the adventure. So let's keep going. Maps. You're faced with a similar conundrum when it comes to maps. Do you read ahead and see the entire map in advance? Or do you try to generate a map dynamically in real time as you play? So here they explain how you can create a sort of fog of war using software, or just taking a look at the map, trying to avoid spoiling things for you. Those of you that have been watching my tutorial series know that when I look at the map of that first adventure, I use my hands to create like a sort of mask, just like a fog of war effect. You can create a small circle or a square or a triangle with your fingers and just center your hand on the area of the map that you are exploring while trying not to look at the other sections, so that all of those secret doors and chests and caches, etc., they all remain hidden. So I think this is quite easy to accomplish. Just take a look at the particular section of the map that the party of adventurers or the single adventurer, depending on how you are playing your solo adventure, is moving through. And of course, this is no trouble at all if you are generating the content dynamically. The Solo Adventuring Toolkit contains that method to generate maps in the Quick Start section near the beginning of the Solo Adventuring Toolkit that you can use to generate any sort of adventure site. A forest, a dungeon, a mansion, a castle, anything at all. And the same applies to secrets. If you have already spoiled any secret in the adventure concerning the plotline, concerning the architecture of the site, make your rolls on the ashtrays table to add some unexpected things. Or like I said, you could cut up some of the secrets, slice some key elements related to the storyline or to the plotline or several plotlines, and create those random tables. You will end up with results that differ quite a bit from the general procedure or flow of the adventure module that you are using. Thank you for watching this part of the guide and review. As you can see, these are very simple concepts, but incredibly important when it comes to experiencing those surprises, revealing those secrets. Thank you for watching this part of the guide and review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.